Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. So, think about the absolute most mundane, everyday parts of your life. I'm talking about those chores you probably dread doing. Well, believe it or not, they are becoming incredibly valuable. Today, we're unpacking what I like to call the alchemy of chores, and we're going to see exactly how basic, everyday human motion is literally being transformed into pure AI gold. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The next AI frontier. Finding gold in the mundane. Okay, so I want you to really picture this for a second. What if washing dishes was actually gold? Just imagine yourself standing at the sink, scrubbing a plate, or maybe just tidying up the living room before you go to bed. These are actions that are so incredibly routine, they're so deeply baked into our daily existence that we do them completely on autopilot. We don't even think about them. But here's the crazy part. In the rapidly advancing world of artificial intelligence, these completely mundane moments, they are absolutely precious. They're actually becoming the highly sought-after raw materials of the future. And that brings us right to our core thesis for today. Everyday life is the next frontier of AI training. Now, when we think of AI right now, we mostly picture things like LLMs or, diffusion models. Basically, systems trained on mountains of text or millions of static pictures just scraped from the internet. But the next massive leap in tech, that's embodied AI and robotics. We're talking about actual physical machines that need to operate in dynamic, real-world spaces. To conquer spatial reasoning, physics, and edge case interactions, like actually grabbing a delicate cup without crushing it, reading the internet simply isn't going to cut it. The everyday human actions that make up our messy, normal lives, those provide the exact kinematic blueprints these machines desperately need to function. Which brings us to Section 2, how robots actually learn, moving beyond the textbook. And this brilliantly illustrates the primary hurdle in embodied AI right now, which is this massive data bottleneck. Like we said, LLMs could just scrape the web to learn language, right? But physical robots, they absolutely cannot learn spatial awareness or friction or gravity or object manipulation from a textbook. I mean, you can't just feed a robot a PDF manual on how to fold laundry and expect it to magically work in your living room. No way. They require massive, complex data sets of actual human motion to navigate physical reality. They quite literally have to observe the real thing in action.
Section 3, Structuring Human Motion. Enter the catalyst.
So you're probably wondering, how do we actually bridge that massive gap between our super messy physical reality and the clean data needed for robotic learning? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is exactly how a system called Coda.io's home activity video collection steps in as the perfect catalyst. What it does is capture first-person daily tasks. It takes that raw, organic human motion, the reaching, the gripping, the really complex spatial navigation we do without thinking, and it actually structures it. By translating all those everyday actions into tracked hand articulation and mapped spatial coordinates, it turns normal movement into highly usable AI data that neural networks can actually process. So, how does someone actually get involved in this? Well, it's a remarkably straightforward flow. First, participants just record their first-person daily tasks. Second, the system does the heavy lifting, computing and structuring that real human motion into actionable kinematic data. And finally, and honestly, this is the absolute game changer here, participants get rewarded on-chain for it. Yep, by utilizing blockchain mechanics, the whole system allows for decentralized data ownership, verifiable contribution tracking, and super seamless microtransactions. It means individuals are directly and transparently compensated for providing the exact kind of real-world physical data that these big robotics companies are literally desperate to acquire. Moving on to Section 4, the clean data loop. From chores to intelligence. Let's look at how this builds into an entirely new technological ecosystem. Just think about the sheer efficiency of this supply chain for a second. Step 1, daily life is translated into structured data. Step 2, that data trains advanced AI intelligence. Step 3, the economic value of that intelligence loops directly back to the human contributors. Boom, boom, boom. It is a highly efficient, incredibly clean loop. We're literally taking the rawest form of human effort, transforming it into cutting-edge robotic capability, and then ensuring that the economic value created is distributed right back to the humans who generated the data in the very first place. Section 5, rewarding invisible labor. A massive paradigm shift. So, the crucial point is captured perfectly in this powerful quote from the source material. What was once invisible labor now has measurable value. Just let that sink in for a moment. For pretty much all of human history, keeping a household running has been completely uncompensated. It's just stuff you have to do. But now we are entering this wild era of data as labor. Through this new system, human behavior is becoming a formalized, monetized asset class right inside the AI supply chain. Participation in these routine, boring tasks is finally recognized economically. Your daily movements literally carry measurable technological value now. And all of this leads us to a truly fascinating takeaway. We're moving from just using AI to actively shaping what AI becomes. Think about it. We are no longer just passive consumers typing prompts into a chat window hoping for a good answer. By simply living our lives, moving through our physical spaces, and capturing these everyday actions, we are actively molding the physical capabilities of tomorrow's robotics. We are basically the teachers, and our everyday human motion is the foundational blueprint for the future of embodied artificial intelligence. So I'll leave you with this final thought to ponder as we wrap up today's explainer. As this technology inevitably scales up, are we just using AI, or are we fundamentally shaping what it becomes? It really makes you look at your dirty dishes a little differently, doesn't it? Thanks so much for joining me as we explored this material. Until next time.